Hey guys, so sorry if I sound loopy or whatever or froggy because I'm like doing this first thing in the morning, but I'm trying to do it in a timely manner so people have time to react and all that. I'll try to do this efficiently more so than other cases because I've had some of these videos go on for like 20 minutes. But we just finished Phoenix Wright, episode 100 finale spectacular whatnot. It's actually a really long episode, but that's going to be the finale. So the finale of Phoenix Wright is going to be on Monday, July 20th, which means that the next Patreon game is going to premiere on Tuesday, July 21st. And the thing is, it's, people will sometimes react to the game finishing by trying to hop on the Patreon and affect what the next game is and so on. But that's not how it works because the premiere happens the next day. So a bunch of gears have to start turning in advance. So I'm trying to take this moment to remind everyone how this process works and also tell new people how it works because, I think I get like 1.5 thousand subscribers per month-ish, and like this game has been going on for more than 3 months, so there's up to like 5,000 people that don't know like how this works and all that. And the main way that works is, you might remember this from part 1 of Phoenix Wright, is this whole poll thing that was happening, and you might be wondering where that comes from. And sometimes people misunderstand this and they think that like I choose the games or that I really have any hand in this besides like being the administrator that manages it and just takes the data and so on. But this is the results of the Phoenix Wright poll, or Phoenix Wright 1. So you see you have this list of games and you have all of this data, which is the voting that happened and so on. And the way that happens is you go onto my Patreon, patreon.com/SebastianSB, link in the description, and you can just pick one of these tiers in order to support the channel. And this is vital because this is how this has been my job for the last few years and all that, is that I never really got here by being like a sustainable YouTuber. I pretty much got here by launching a Patreon and then having enough fans that really wanted to support the channel that it went where it went. And so we currently have 3 tiers, one of which is sold out over here, so I won't spend a ton of time on that. But there's the voting supporter and the nominating supporter. And so that's the 2 things you see at play here, is that all of these names here on the far left are chosen by these nominating supporters that pay me $15 a month to keep the channel going. And then all of this data on the right, where the actual votes come in, is the voting supporters. And it makes sense to keep them separate just because you have a relatively smaller percentage of people that can nominate and then a larger number of people who then can vote on the results, which means that people aren't just voting exclusively for the thing they nominated and so on. There was an early time where I had like 20 people on the entire Patreon, so everyone got to vote and nominate, but that was always a non-ideal thing we wanted to move past because everyone kind of just wants to vote for the thing that they nominated for obvious reasons. That's why they nominated it. But that's the large process here. Good English I did there. So as far as that voting and support and nominating goes, nominating happens first, then voting happens afterwards. I try to give each of these phases about 48 hours so that people don't have to be like right there the day of and immediately respond, but they do need to, they need to get around to it in a timely manner because we need to keep things moving. And so I pretty much backtrack a couple of days for each step. So since the next Patreon game premiere is going to be on July 21st, that means that the vote is going to be happening on July 19th, this Sunday, and the nominations are going to be happening on July 17th, which is this Friday. So it's coming really soon. You got like a day or 2 to hop on if you want to be involved in the process for picking what game comes after Phoenix Wright. Because for those that don't know, I have multiple time slots on this channel where at 11 a.m. there's an RPG slot. At noon, there's the Let's Try slot, which is the one-off videos about games that I probably don't have time to do a series on, but it's just the fact that there's an endless deluge and all that. Then 1 p.m. is the Patreon time slot, which is what we're talking about right now. And so that's completely chosen by the audience. There is not a genre restriction. There is not like a trend of what kind of game goes here necessarily. It's just kind of whatever the current zeitgeist is in the audience. Like a cult classic they've wanted me to get around to for years, and the support just like rises up that particular day, or an indie darling that like people just really that just has a lasting impact on people, or sometimes it's like, the sequel to this game was just announced, and suddenly that particular month people are really into nominating the previous one. Like I think about how, like, I think the timing of my Last of Us 1 playthrough synced up with the like original trailers for Last of Us 2 coming out. Like there can be trends there sometimes. And then 2 p.m. is my chaos slot, where I have a rotating schedule between classic games, indie games, puzzle games, and AAA games, where I'm trying to have like a variety coverage there. So like this is a pretty powerful thing that I hand over to the audience here, where I let you guys take charge of one of the entire time slots of the channel indefinitely, and it has been an ongoing thing for years. And it's a neat thing. It's kind of win-win. This on my end, like the series does pretty well because obviously it's tapping into what people want and all that, but it also gives people the chance to influence what they would like to see happen on the channel, and the only way to do is vote. And so the way that it happens is you hop on the Patreon, you pledge to support, and then on those scheduled days, the nominations being on Friday and the vote happening on Sunday, sometime around noon-ish, I will just send a message out to every single individual patron within that reward tier, and they will be sent to a form where they can either nominate or nominate or vote, you know, based on what day it is and whatnot. And they fill out that form and they get to participate, and then I crunch all the data at the end, and that's the game we cover next. That's pretty much the whole process. So if you're on the Patreon in time, you will get a message as per the tier that you are in. As far as these Let's Try curators, these people get like this whole, let's see here. This isn't the thing to spend a ton of time on here, but basically I have just this fucking giant list of, why did it stop scrolling? What? It's probably because I'm not in edit mode. Whoa, it's not loading. Google Docs, are you okay? Anyway, there's like 700 games on this list. It's just not loading right now and stopped here for some reason. I'm worried about Google Docs right now. And so, oh god, it's dead. It's all dead. My god, this is why would anyone do anything live? That's a foolish thing. Okay, there we go. 933 is the final one. There's a few empty ones up here, but yeah, there's like 1,000 games. This list keeps growing every month. So the Let's Try curators just pick games from this list every month, and that's why you'll recognize videos here. Desperados, Mask of Mist. You don't recognize that. That's not out yet, or is it? I don't know. Shit. But Gibbous, Little Witch Nobita, Helltaker. They either pick the games from this list or they find free games and demos somewhere on the internet, and they suggest those. But that's a limited tier. But keep an eye on that if you want to hop on that. People kind of phase in and out of that every couple months or so. So that opportunity might arrive in the future. So we covered the vote. What else do you get for these support tiers and all that? One of them's the credits here. There's the thing at the end. This is the voters, we're in white. This is the Let's Try people in gold. And this is the nominators in yellow. So yellow is $15, gold is $25, and white is $1. And that's where all these names come from in here in my slightly glitchy, slightly strange looking credits that I keep iterating on the look for when I'm trying to figure out how to fit X number of names into roughly 30 seconds of credits and all that. Aside from that, there's the Q&A series, which is everything that is listed here in the supporting tier for $1 supporters also applies to the higher tiers, including like Let's Try curators, for example, can vote. I mean, they can also nominate, and everyone gets to vote and so on. But anyway, there's a Patreon exclusive Q&A. That's this down here. Is you see all these locked posts, and these are like a bunch of Q&A/podcast videos where I hang out and I play a game that doesn't take too much of my mind up. So it's usually World of Warcraft, and I sit there and I answer questions that were submitted to me by Patreon subscribers. And then or sometimes I just podcast kind of, and they're like an hour or two long, and I upload them almost every single weekend. And so they've been going long enough now that there's now a backlog of 91 videos that you can watch if you become a Patreon for any amount. What do you have here? There's Discord role. That's just talking about the fact that on Discord, you can be green, is mostly what it does. It just mostly means that you're green. But it does mean you have this Patreon-only chat thing, which isn't heavily used, but it's there if you so desire a Patreon-only chat room. But otherwise, it just makes you have a green name in the Discord that is there. Link to the Discord in the description, for that matter. And there it is. Name in the credits. Early access to content when applicable. That just means that if I ever upload something that I'm uploading to Patreon, then you'll get that. But I don't really do a lot of Patreon content that isn't just the Q&A necessarily. So that's the gist of it, by and large. Trying to think if there's anything else to cover. Oh, that's worth covering. Play Minecraft with Andrew is a thing. I might as well roll this out now. Stop trying to do things. If you want to play Minecraft with Andrew, I'm kind of just slowly rolling this out phase by phase. You might remember the color of change stream that we did with Bird and Effie and Marty and Colonel and Ashley, and I think that was most if not everybody, including Andrew, I guess. Well, that server's still going. Minecraft. Andrew's been really hooked to Minecraft. He keeps going. He's online right now at the time that I'm recording this video, actually, as you can see here. This is what you get if you go to your internet browser, not your YouTube browser, and you type minecraft.naklwilson.net. NAKLWILSON.net. Minecraft.naklwilson.net takes you to this, which is neat. There's a little sidebar here. You can go to like different views. It starts on 2D view, which is maybe more accurate, but not entirely nice to look at. But you can look at this nice side view, and you get this really cool view of like this is. You can see like that's the spawn area and the little like cart he was working on last time during the stream. And you recognize this is the little farmhouse with the dog next to it. Like some of this is recognizable still as being what was there during the original Color of Change stream like a month or so ago. But yeah, he's been busy, and we've been slowly opening it up to more and more people to hop on and see if the mod tools are working and all that. So if you would like to hop in, then you can go to your Minecraft browser, your Minecraft whatever the hell, and add the server minecraft.naklwilson.net, and you should be able to join this Minecraft server and surprise him with new faces and all that, and hang out, is basically the idea. People are just like kind of building these nice little communities. That actually looks really neat. It's like a giant tree. This is just like some kind of tool he installed that lets you view everything like this, which I think has been around for a while, because I remember my old servers having this too. Someone's building Yggdrasil or Teldrassil or whatever. Super tree. There's just stuff going on here. Don't be a dick, you'll probably get banned. Pretty much fucking step one. You might, I haven't been keeping up with it. I don't really, I don't have a lot of time for Minecraft lately, but if you do join and it doesn't let you in, you might have to do that tool where in the Minecraft launcher you tell it to install a different version of Minecraft and then launch it as that. Like, oh, this is a 1.15 server, but you're in 1.16 or whatever. Like, there's a whole tab in there that lets you manage your installations. So if you have trouble joining, then that might be the thing you need to do. Aside from that, just a little troubleshooty thing. When you join my Patreon, if you join my Patreon, but via become Patreon and all that, you're going to want to be careful in the sign-up process. I don't use Patreon that much, probably because I am supported on Patreon, so I feel slightly weird about like overtly redirecting Patreon funds towards other Patreon people, and like I think it like publicly shows it, and it feels like you're reallocating their money. It's a weird brain space to be in. But when you sign up, make sure you're actually in a tier. Some people will like sign up under no reward, which is a thing, but then like have no reward as $15 or $25 or whatever, and then they'll be surprised when they aren't included amongst the people who are getting said reward, and it's because you specifically opted into the thing that says you don't want to have a reward. I think that people who don't the people that opt out of having a reward, they don't vote, they don't nominate, They're not included in the credits, which is sometimes why people do it. I think they still get to watch these videos because I set these to be public to all Patreon subscribers and not to any particular tier. So I think everyone still gets to watch these videos. But no reward is the thing you can pick if you don't want to be in the Patreon credits and you don't really want to get any messages, but you just want to support the channel, because the majority of my income comes from this page here, not the page that you're watching this video on. Weird, right? But that's the thing, yeah. Go check out Minecraft, hop on Patreon if you want to affect what game is going to come up after Phoenix Wright, or if you just want to watch like 90 podcasts, or if you just want to support the channel for the sake of supporting the channel, which is cool, because that's how this all works. Thank you for your continued support and your viewership, and I'll see you next time. I need to eat breakfast.